Stop expecting people to help you because you were good to them. The world doesn't reward kindness, it rewards value. Welcome to Career Canvas Power, where transformation becomes your identity. Here, we turn knowledge into real power for your life. Listen carefully, because this truth is uncomfortable, but it will change the way you see the world forever. You have been taught since childhood that people help each other because of kindness, because of goodness, because of humanity. But step into the real world, and you will see something very different. People do not move because of your pain, they move because of their gain. You can cry, you can beg, you can remind them of everything you have done, but most of the time, nothing will happen. Why? Because deep inside, every human mind is asking only one question: what's in it for me? This is not cruelty, it is reality. And if you ignore this reality, you will stay weak, disappointed, and dependent. But if you understand it, you become powerful. Because now, you stop begging, and you start positioning. You stop asking for favors, and you start creating value. And that is the moment you stop being ignored, and start being respected. If you ever need help from someone, remember this clearly: do not go to them carrying the weight of your past favors. Do not say, "I helped you before," because the moment you say that, you create pressure, and pressure creates resistance. No one likes to feel forced. No one likes to feel trapped by obligation. People will smile in front of you, but inside, they will look for excuses to escape. This is human nature. So instead of trying to remind them of your goodness, show them their benefit. Make them see something valuable for themselves. Make your request feel like an opportunity, not a burden. When a person sees profit, growth, or advantage, their energy changes instantly. They become interested. They become active. They move fast. This is the difference between begging and influencing. Begging looks backward: "I did this for you." Influencing looks forward: "This will benefit you." And the world does not reward those who remind, it rewards those who present value. So stop expecting gratitude, and start designing advantage. Understand this: at the deepest level, human beings are not driven by gratitude, they are driven by self-interest. Gratitude is weak, temporary, and emotional. Self-interest is strong, permanent, and logical. When you ask someone for help by saying, "Please do this out of kindness," you are appealing to emotion, and emotions fade quickly. When you say, "Remember what I did for you," you are creating a psychological debt, and people hate feeling in debt. They will either avoid you or silently resent you. That is why most people fail, not because they are not good, but because they are not strategic. They expect the world to operate on fairness, while the world operates on advantage. This is where you must become different. You must learn to think like a strategist, not like a victim. Every time you need something, ask yourself, what can I offer that makes this person win? Because when the other person wins, they will help you without hesitation. And here is the ruthless truth: people may ignore your struggle, but they will never ignore their own benefit. So stop approaching people with need, start approaching them with value. Stop seeking sympathy, start creating opportunity. The moment you align your goals with their self-interest, you remove resistance, you create desire, and you gain power. And once you understand this law deeply, you will never feel rejected again, because you will know exactly how to make people say yes. Now understand the core principle that separates weak people from powerful thinkers. Never appeal to emotion when you can appeal to benefit. Emotion is unstable, it changes with mood, with time, with situation. But benefit is clear, logical, and irresistible. When you ask someone for help, don't focus on your need, focus on their gain. Show them what they will get, what advantage they will have, what opportunity will open for them. Make the outcome look attractive, valuable, and worth their time. Because the human mind is wired to move toward reward, not toward responsibility. If your request feels like a burden, they will delay it. If it feels like an opportunity, they will chase it. This is the shift you must master. Stop saying, "Help me because I need it." Start saying, "Help me because it benefits you." The moment you do this, your words gain weight, your presence gains value, and your influence becomes real. Let's go deeper into human psychology, because without understanding the mind, you cannot control outcomes. Every human being, no matter how kind, how generous, how humble they appear, is naturally programmed to prioritize personal gain. This is not selfishness, this is survival instinct. From the smallest decision to the biggest action, the brain constantly scans for advantage, for profit, for something that improves its position. Even when people help others, even when they act generous, there is always something they gain: respect, satisfaction, reputation, or a sense of superiority. It may not always be money, but it is always a benefit. And once you accept this truth, you stop being confused by people's behavior. You stop expecting pure kindness, and you start understanding hidden motivation. This makes you sharper, smarter, and more aware, because now you know, behind every yes, there is a reason. Behind every action, there is a gain. And if you can identify that gain, you can guide the action. This is not manipulation, this is clarity. And clarity gives you control. Now comes the real power, the strategy that turns knowledge into results. Every time you make a request, frame it as a win for the other person. Do not present it as your problem, present it as their opportunity. Make it feel like by helping you, they are actually helping themselves. Remove emotional pressure completely, because pressure creates resistance, and resistance kills action. Instead, replace it with incentive. Make the benefits so clear, so visible, that they don't have to think twice. Because when the mind sees a clear reward, it acts fast, without hesitation. This is how deals are made, this is how leaders influence, this is how powerful people move others. They don't beg, they position. They don't complain, they present value. And here is the ruthless truth you must accept: no one is coming to save you because of your struggle. But many will come running if they see advantage in your direction. So become someone who creates advantage. Become someone who offers value. Learn to speak in terms of benefit, not emotion. And once you master this, you will notice something powerful. People will start saying yes without you forcing them. Doors will open without you knocking harder. Because you are no longer asking, you are offering. And the world always responds to those who offer value. Now listen carefully, because this is where most people fail again and again without even realizing it. They go to others and say, "I supported you before, you owe me this." And in that moment, they think they are being logical, but in reality, they are destroying their own chances. Why? Because the moment you remind someone of a favor, you create pressure. And pressure does not create action, it creates resistance. People start feeling uncomfortable, controlled, even trapped. They don't feel motivated to help you, they feel forced. And when a human feels forced, the first instinct is to escape. They delay, they avoid, they ignore, and sometimes, they even start resenting you. This is the harsh truth: gratitude fades faster than you think. What you remember as a big favor, they remember as a small moment. But their self-interest? That stays strong, alive, and active every single day. So if you depend on gratitude, you will be disappointed. But if you understand self-interest, you will never be ignored. Now let's look at someone who mastered this law with precision: Giacomo Casanova. People remember him for charm, for influence, for his ability to get what he wanted, but his real power was deeper than charm. He understood desire. He understood that every person he met had wants, ambitions, hidden needs. And instead of asking directly, instead of begging or reminding, he studied those desires. He identified what people truly wanted, and then he aligned himself with that. He didn't say, "Help me." He created situations where helping him felt like helping themselves. He made people feel they were gaining something valuable: status, pleasure, opportunity, excitement. And because of that, people didn't hesitate. They didn't feel pressured, they felt attracted. They helped him willingly, even enthusiastically. This is the difference between ordinary people and powerful influencers. Ordinary people ask, powerful people position. Casanova didn't chase help, he made help come to him. And that is the lesson you must absorb deeply: when people see benefit, they don't need convincing. They move on their own. Now bring everything together, this is where knowledge turns into power. The first truth you must accept is this: self-interest drives human behavior. Not words, not promises, not emotions, self-interest. The second truth, gratitude is weak, temporary, and unreliable. It fades with time, with mood, with distance. If you build your strategy on gratitude, your foundation will always be unstable. The third truth, people hate feeling obligated. The moment they feel they have to help you, their mind starts looking for a way out. So remove that pressure completely. Replace it with something stronger, benefit. Every request you make should answer one silent question in their mind. What do I gain from this? And you must answer it clearly, confidently, and convincingly. Align your goals with their desires. Make your success connected to their advantage. Make helping you feel rewarding, exciting, even necessary for them. This is not manipulation, this is intelligent communication. This is how leaders think, this is how power works. And here is the final ruthless truth, no one is responsible for your success. But many people can become a part of it, if you make it worth their while. So stop depending on kindness. Stop expecting fairness. Start creating value so strong that people want to be involved. Because when you master this, you don't chase opportunities, opportunities start chasing you. Now understand this clearly, power without awareness becomes destruction. If you misunderstand this law, it will not make you powerful, it will make you foolish. If you misjudge what someone truly wants, your entire strategy collapses. You may think you are offering value, but in their mind, it means nothing. And when that happens, you lose credibility. Another danger, overpromising. If you show big benefits but fail to deliver, you don't just lose one opportunity, you destroy trust completely. And trust, once broken, is very hard to rebuild. Also, if your approach feels too calculated, too obvious, people will sense manipulation. And the moment they feel used, they will pull back instantly. One more mistake, ignoring emotions completely. Humans are not machines. If you act cold, robotic, and purely logical, you may win short-term, but lose long-term connection. So remember this, balance is power. Use logic, but understand emotions. Be strategic, but remain human. Because true influence is not force, it is intelligent balance. Now listen carefully, because true mastery is not blind following, it is knowing when to bend the rule. There are moments when appealing to self-interest is not enough, and emotion becomes powerful. In close relationships, family, friends, trusted allies, people are not always calculating benefit. Here, trust already exists, and emotional connection becomes stronger than logic. In such moments, a sincere emotional appeal can move people deeply. Also, in situations where empathy is required, pain, loss, struggle, pure logic feels cold and insensitive. Here, emotion opens doors that strategy cannot. And sometimes, the most powerful approach is a combination, self-interest plus emotion. You show them benefit, but you also connect with their feelings. This creates both logic and trust. And in rare cases, strong moral appeal, standing for something right, something meaningful, can inspire action beyond self-interest. But understand this deeply, these situations are exceptions, not the rule. True mastery means reading the situation, understanding the person, and choosing the right approach. Not every situation needs the same strategy. The strongest minds are flexible, aware, and precise. Now bring this into your daily life, because knowledge without action is useless. Every time you interact with someone, train your mind to observe. What do they value? What excites them? What are they chasing? Because hidden inside those answers lies your influence. Before making any request, pause and think, how can this benefit them? How can I present this as an opportunity, not a burden? Never start with your need, start with their gain. Remove words that create pressure, like, you owe me, or, I need this. Replace them with words that create attraction, this can help you, this will benefit you, this is an opportunity. Present your idea in a way that aligns with their goals. Make them feel smart for saying yes. Make them feel they are moving forward, not being pulled. And most importantly, be honest in your value. Don't fake benefit, create real benefit. Because long-term power comes from trust built on truth. The more you practice this, the sharper you become. You stop reacting emotionally and start acting strategically. And slowly, you will notice people listen to you more, respond faster, and respect you deeply. Because you are no longer asking blindly, you are communicating intelligently. So now, understand the final truth of this law: if you want help, don't ask from emotion, offer from value. The world does not move because of your past favors, your struggles, or your expectations. It moves because of benefit, advantage, and opportunity. When you align your goals with someone else's desires, you remove resistance completely. Helping you no longer feels like effort, it feels like gain. And that is where real influence begins. But this requires awareness. It requires you to understand people, to read situations, to think before you speak. This is not about manipulation, it is about clarity. It is about respecting reality as it is, not as you wish it to be. Because the moment you accept this truth, you stop being frustrated and start becoming effective. You stop depending on others' kindness and start creating reasons for them to act. And in the end, remember this powerful line: success is not about asking for help, it is about making others want to help you. That is power. That is influence. That is mastery. Thank you. Remember, real power comes from understanding and applying. Stay connected with Career Canvas Power, your transformation continues.